everybody, how you doing today? Now, for the past few videos, I'm sure all of you have been watching me going, why is this tiny little blonde girl with dreadlocks talking about politics? Well, the 2016 election is going on, and I'm sorry, but I am an American citizen, I have an opinion, and I'm also old enough to vote this year for the first time in my life. So it's very important to me who becomes president and what is going to happen in the United States after this year and for the next 4 years up until the next election, because I'm sorry, but 4 years is a very long time. So for anybody that knows me, not necessarily watch any of my videos because it's a very new thing for me to actually be getting into politics, but anybody that knows me personally or is friends with me on Facebook knows that I am a very, very strong Bernie Sanders supporter. Now, yes, it is August 1st as of currently right now in this moment in my life. So that means that officially Bernie Sanders has lost the nomination to be the Democratic nominee to Hillary Clinton. So what any of my friends on Facebook think is the sensible thing to do, a lot of them are getting behind Hillary Clinton because, ooh, gotta prevent a Trump presidency, whatever. Now, here's the thing with me and the reason why a lot of my friends are angry at me and the reason why I've been arguing with them and the reason why I'm angry at them is the fact that instead of getting behind Hillary Clinton, because I do not agree with her in a lot of her policies and I also do not agree with the way that she, I believe, stole the election. I'm voting for Jill Stein of the Green Party, so I'm voting third party candidate. And if you somehow successfully have friended me on Facebook without me knowing and you're also a person that watches my YouTube channel and I don't know you, then there is the possibility that you've seen all of my sassy statuses about politics in the past few days, especially whenever Hillary Clinton got the nomination and everything like that, and I was arguing with a few people about Jill Stein, and I posted this status on July 28th saying, Jill Stein can't possibly win. Look at the polls. Neither can Hillary. And I had, I think, a total of 4 Hillary Clinton supporters comment on my status asking me why I thought that, throwing numbers at me and arguing with me about everything like that. And I reiterated more than once, guys, I don't agree with her. I want my vote going to somebody that I think would actually make a difference, not somebody that's just going to line her pockets because she's the big badass in politics. Now, kudos to me, I actually didn't get too angry, I didn't start yelling, I didn't start cussing, which is something new for me because honestly in a lot of situations where I get really irritated and people just seem like I'm talking to brick walls, I go off, I scream, I yell, I cuss, I want to put their teeth in their stomach and pull their eyes out of their heads. But I didn't. I'm learning and I'm calmer about situations like this. But I just had to share one little instance that happened and why I think that this one comment that this one supporter made is completely ludicrous, and it made me so mad that I did not even address it. I couldn't even look at it. I completely ignored this part of the comment and I addressed more than one different kind. These guys liked writing me books for me to read. Apparently they thought that I actually had time in between my shift at the restaurant that I work at to actually read their arguments. Whereas what my status wasn't even a book. It was just a little statement that I said that I was frustrated and I had just gotten out of an argument with another Hillary supporter that was like, oh, Jill Stein can't win and blah, blah, blah and all that. And I'm like, ugh, okay, whatever. But this guy wrote me a book, literally a book. Like, it's huge. Like, he was not the only one. Everybody else also kind of addressed me with books and their opinions and everything, and it was just, But I'm not going to read you the entire thing. I'm just going to read you this one little section of the comment that literally made my blood boil. Anyway, he's talking about the importance of why I should vote Hillary Clinton, why it's important for me to vote Hillary Clinton, and that he's not necessarily trying to persuade me to, like he's not forcing me to, but he's telling me, he's used the word implore. I implore you to vote Hillary Clinton, and this is one of his examples right here. He says, there is 10 people voting. 5 are Republicans and 5 are Democrats. However, 2 Democrats went to third parties. Therefore, Trump beats Hillary. Okay, first of all, anybody with common sense can figure out that that is not the way it works. Yes, if we actually did American elections like this, that we have 10 people in the room, and 5 of them are voting for a Republican, 5 of them are Democrat. But they can choose any of the people that they want. Therefore, the Republicans, they go for Trump. And the ones that want Hillary on the Democratic side, they go for Hillary. But there's 2 that decide that they're not going to vote for Hillary and they're going to vote for a third party. Yeah, it makes sense. But the thing is, it's not that simple. I'm going to start throwing numbers at you, so if you guys do not want to listen to numbers and statistics and percentages and stuff, just shut this video off now. Also, I would like to apologize for how angry I've sounded at the beginning of this video and how angry I'm going to get during the rest of this video. First of all, we're trying to get the American population down into 10 people, right? Well, not exactly. We're getting the voting population down to 10 people. Now, let's look at the numbers a little bit. According to usnews.com, an estimated 2016 population in the United States is 322,726,018. Okay, that's a lot of people, but that's including the old people, the voting age people, and the people underneath voting age. So it's covering literally everybody. Now, let's go to a different number. According to statisticbrain.com, the number of Americans that are eligible to vote are 218,959,000. 218,959,000. That's a lot of people, okay? That's a lot of people that we're trying to get into 10 people, all right? But here's another statistic literally listed right below it, That was the total number of Americans eligible to vote. Now, the total number of Americans actually registered to vote is, listen to this, 146,311,000. Now, do you want to hear the percentages on that? Because this is really fun. All right. See, the total number of Americans that are eligible to vote are 218,959,000, and the ones that are registered to vote are 146,311,000. Now, doing the math there, I came up with a really long number. Like, it was like 66.82 da 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 da. So, rounding up, registered voters account for about 66.8 or 67% of the population that is eligible to vote. So if we're trying to do it with 10, we're trying to do it with 10 people. First of all, you already got to cut 3 of them out. Because I can't give you just 6.7 people. That doesn't really work out. So let's just round it up to 70%. So registered voters account for only 70% of the people who are voting, eligible to vote. So if you've got a room full of 10 people, First of all, you got to take 3 away immediately because there's only 7 people who are actually voting. These 3 people are not registered to vote. They're not going to vote. They're not interested in it. Now, that being said, what's next is the data from peoplepress.org, okay, which says, based on 2014 data, yes, this is the closest data that I could get. It's only 2 years old. I'm sorry. 39% of registered voters identify as independents, which is more than the 32% registered voters as Democrats and 23% Republican. Now, it also goes on to say, when partisan leanings of independents are taken into account, 48% of the independents tend to lean more to Democrats, and 39% tend to lean more towards Republican. So, that being said, it's a pretty equal going both ways. So, there's 10 people in a room. 7 are voting, 3 are not. Even if we did 10 people in a room and they're all voting, we still have 4, about 4 that are independent, 3 that are Democrat, and then 2 that are Republican, and then this one kind of hanging out over here. But we're not doing it that way. So we've got 3 that are not voting, 3 that are independent, somewhere around there, because now we're trying to get percentages in humans, and it doesn't work that way because you can't have one arm voting Republican and one arm voting Democrat. It doesn't work out. So it's about like 3 not voting, 3 independent, 2 Democrat, and 2 Republican, something like that. Okay, and then now we get into all the percentages about who voted for Trump and who voted for Hillary and where they're going and everything like that, and it's absolutely bonkers. So if you actually try to make this analogy work, you can't. There are too many people in the US and too many people that voted to be able to actually simplify it down into just 10 people in a room. If you're doing 10 people, meaning the entire US population, then you're going to have to take a lot more away for the people who either can't vote or aren't registered to vote. If you're doing what I just did, the people who are eligible to vote, you have to immediately take 3 away, about 30% away. And that's even giving 3% to the voting side, because it's not a strict 70-30, it's about 66.8 to 33.2. And even more than that, numbers are still. And if you remember, both of the numbers that I gave you, the eligible to vote and the registered to vote, they ended in 000. And it can't be completely equal. I highly, highly doubt that. Those are rounded numbers. Those are probably approximated numbers, so those numbers aren't even accurate either. Just, my entire point is that this analogy that he gave me makes 0 sense and cannot represent an American election properly. You can't do it with 10 people. 100 people, maybe. Because then you can round up easier, because instead of saying 70% of the eligible voters are registered to vote, you can literally take 67 people. As long as you round it up to whole numbers, it works. But just 10 people in a room, 5 Dem, 5 Republican, it doesn't work that way. this analogy completely falls apart whenever you actually try to use the proper numbers. And that's why it really frustrated me a lot. I'm sorry, you guys, for the rant. And more political videos are probably going to be coming to you in the future because that's the only thing that I'm apparently obsessed with right now. I might do a vlog that just kind of catches up on what's going on with me because you have seen this background for a couple of weeks now. But hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be a new background soon. But yeah, that's my opinion on that one political argument that I had, and it was actually a very long political argument, and that was really only one tiny tidbit that made me mad, and you guys are going to watch my process of trying to not get mad at every single little political thing that gets thrown my way, because it's very easy for me to get very mad, and I probably shouldn't do that. Like I said in my last video, there's probably going to be a follow-up video with at least April, hopefully Torrin and Daniel, about our Philly trip. I wish that I could get together with my friend Cliff that I met in Philadelphia and maybe get his response. I don't know how to do that, but I will probably try to figure it out for you. Maybe I'll get him on Skype or something and do some sort of little Skype interview with him. And I do have 2 videos in mind that probably will be coming up in the next 2 weeks. So keep a lookout for those. Again, they're also political. One of them is a little behind that I probably should have done a long time ago when Bernie Sanders was running. Probably would not have helped him whatsoever because I'm tiny and barely anybody watches me. I'm lucky if I get 20 views. Who am I kidding? I'm lucky if I get 10. To all those people that actually do watch me, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I really hope that I'm saying something that you at least kind of agree with or at least amuses you. And I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully I'm not ranting. I probably will be. Have a nice day, guys. I love you.